Hello, my dear friend. This is a channel filled with tales straight from the future, and we have a large collection of stories for children in audio format. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new stories.
The Quantum Prince's Journey. Part 1, The Cyber King's Challenge. In the gleaming megacity of Neo-Avalon, there lived a wise and just cyber king named Zephyr. As the years passed, Zephyr's cybernetic eyes began to fail, dimming his once sharp vision of the city he loved. The king's technicians and doctors tried everything, but nothing could restore his sight. One day, Zephyr heard whispers of a miraculous technology hidden in the farthest reaches of the galaxy. It was said that in the quantum nebula there existed nano-apples that could rejuvenate any being and a vial of liquid starlight that could heal any ailment. With hope in his heart, Zephyr called his 3 sons to the royal hollow chamber. "My boys," he said, his voice echoing through the room, "I need your help. Whoever can bring me the nano-apples and liquid starlight will inherit half of Neo-Avalon." The eldest son, Max, stepped forward confidently. "I'll do it, father," he declared. But after a month in space, Max returned empty-handed and discouraged. The second son, Leo, tried next. "I won't fail you," he promised. Yet he too came back without the precious items, his ship battered by cosmic storms. Finally, the youngest son, Aiden, volunteered. "Let me try, father," he said softly. "I believe I can succeed where my brothers couldn't." Zephyr nodded, and Aiden set off to prepare for his journey. He went to the royal hangar to choose a ship, but none seemed right for the perilous voyage ahead. As he was about to give up, an old mechanic approached him. "Prince Aiden," she said, her eyes twinkling. "There's a special ship hidden away. It's unlike any other, but it takes a special pilot to handle it." The mechanic led Aiden to a sealed hangar bay. Inside stood a sleek, silver spacecraft that seemed to hum with energy. As Aiden approached, the ship's engines roared to life, nearly knocking him off his feet. But Aiden stood his ground, facing the powerful machine without fear. Suddenly, the ship's roar quieted to a gentle purr. A hatch opened, inviting Aiden inside. As he settled into the pilot's seat, Aiden felt a connection with the ship, as if it were alive and choosing him as its pilot. With a heart full of determination and his new companion by his side, Aiden blasted off into the stars, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead in his quest for the nano-apples and liquid starlight. Part 2, The Quantum Crossroads. Aiden and his sentient ship, which he named Nova, soared through the star-studded vastness of space. After days of travel, they approached a strange phenomenon, a cosmic crossroads where 3 wormholes converged. Floating in the center was a holographic asteroid, its surface flickering with 3 glowing inscriptions. Aiden read them aloud. "Left path, save your ship, lose yourself. Right path, save yourself, lose your ship. Center path, find your future partner." After careful thought, Aiden chose the left path. "I won't abandon you, Nova," he said, patting the ship's console. They plunged into the swirling vortex of the left wormhole. Emerging on the other side, Aiden found himself in a bizarre sector of space. Asteroids floated by, each housing a different alien structure. One asteroid caught his eye. It held a small, dome-shaped building that was slowly rotating. As Aiden approached, a voice crackled over his comm system. "Who dares enter the realm of Celeste, the cosmic crone?" "It's Aiden, son of Cyber King Zephyr," he replied politely. "I'm on a quest to help my father. May I please speak with you, Celeste?" Impressed by his manners, Celeste invited Aiden to dock at her asteroid. Inside her rotating dome, Aiden met an ancient alien with swirling, galaxy-like eyes. "You've shown respect, young prince," Celeste said. "For that, I'll help you. Take this quantum drive. It'll make your ship faster than light itself." Aiden thanked her and installed the drive in Nova. With a flash, they zoomed off, stars blurring around them. Soon, they encountered another rotating asteroid home. This one belonged to Luna, Celeste's sister, who was even older and wiser. Aiden's politeness again earned him a reward, a chronon stabilizer that allowed Nova to navigate through time distortions. The third asteroid housed Aurora, the eldest sister. Her gift to Aiden was a probability matrix, letting Nova calculate and choose the most favorable future outcomes. With each encounter, Nova became more powerful and Aiden gained crucial knowledge for his quest. As they left Aurora's asteroid, Aiden felt both excitement and nervousness for what lay ahead. The true challenge was yet to come, but now he and Nova were prepared to face it together. In Part 3, The Garden of Quantum Dreams. Following Aurora's guidance, Aiden and Nova arrived at the edge of the Quantum Nebula. Before them floated a massive space station, its translucent walls shimmering with ever-changing colors. This was the legendary Garden of Quantum Dreams, home to the fierce cyber warrior, Princess Zara. Remember, Aurora's voice echoed in Aiden's mind. Enter at midnight when the station's defenses are recalibrating. Take only 3 nano-apples and 1 vial of liquid starlight, and whatever you do, don't enter the central chamber. As the station's chronometers struck midnight, Aiden guided Nova towards a weak spot in the energy shield. With a burst from the quantum drive, they slipped through, landing silently in a vast arboretum. Aiden stepped out, his eyes wide with wonder. Trees with glowing silver leaves lined holographic pathways, their branches heavy with golden nano-apples. At the center stood a shimmering fountain, its waters sparkling like captured starlight. Carefully, Aiden plucked 3 nano-apples, each no bigger than a marble, but humming with incredible power. He then filled a special quantum-locked vial with the fountain's liquid starlight. Mission accomplished, Aiden turned to leave, but a soft glow from a nearby chamber caught his eye. Despite Aurora's warning, curiosity got the better of him. Just a quick peek, he thought. Inside the chamber, he found Princess Zara in suspended animation, her body encased in a shimmering stasis field. Her fierce beauty took Aiden's breath away. Without thinking, he reached out and touched the stasis field. The field flickered and disappeared. Caught in the moment, Aiden leaned forward and kissed the princess's cheek. Instantly, alarms blared throughout the station. Zara's eyes snapped open, glowing with fury. Realizing his mistake, Aiden ran back to Nova. As they blasted off, escaping through the shield, Aiden's heart raced. He had the items he came for, but he knew his impulsive act had changed everything. The real adventure was just beginning. Part 4, Stardust Pursuit. Alarms blared throughout the Quantum Nebula as Princess Zara and her elite squad of 12 cyber warriors launched their ships in hot pursuit of Aiden and Nova. The chase was on, streaking across star systems and through swirling nebulae. Aiden pushed Nova to its limits, the quantum drive leaving a trail of distorted spacetime behind them. But Zara's determination was relentless, her advanced ships slowly gaining ground. Desperate for help, Aiden steered towards Aurora's asteroid. As they approached, Aurora's voice crackled over the comm. "Quickly, dock here!" Aiden complied, and as Zara's fleet drew near, Aurora hailed them. "Princess Zara, why not rest a moment? I've prepared a feast of quantum delicacies." Intrigued but suspicious, Zara agreed to a brief stop. This delay gave Aiden precious time to escape. The pattern repeated at Luna's and Celeste's asteroids, each sister offering Zara irresistible hospitality that slowed her pursuit. But after leaving Celeste's home, Zara's fury redoubled. Finally, in the swirling heart of a young star system, Zara caught up with Aiden. Their ships engaged in a dazzling space battle, energy weapons flashing and shields flickering. When both ships were too damaged to continue, Zara and Aiden donned spacesuits and confronted each other on the surface of a small, rocky planet. They fought with laser swords and gravity manipulators, their battle reshaping the planet's landscape. Eventually, Zara pinned Aiden down, her laser sword at his throat. "Any last words, thief?" she growled. Aiden, breathless and captivated by Zara's fierce beauty, said, "Just one request, a kiss?" Zara froze, caught off guard by the unexpected plea. Curiosity overcame her anger, and she found herself lowering her weapon. "A kiss? After all this, you ask for a kiss?" "I've never met anyone like you," Aiden admitted. "You're incredible." Something in his sincere admiration touched Zara. Slowly, she helped Aiden to his feet. Their eyes met, and the tension between them transformed into something else entirely. As they leaned in, their helmet visors clicked together, unable to touch. They both laughed, the absurdity of the situation breaking the last of the tension. "Perhaps," Zara said with a smile, "we should continue this conversation somewhere with breathable air." And just like that, the fierce space battle had unexpectedly blossomed into the beginning of a cosmic love story. Starlit Promises. Zara took Aiden to her personal space yacht, a sleek vessel designed for comfort rather than combat. For 3 days, they drifted through a nebula of shimmering stardust, talking, laughing, and falling deeply in love. Aiden shared stories of Neo-Avalon and his father's failing eyesight. Zara spoke of her responsibilities as guardian of the quantum garden. Despite their different backgrounds, they found a shared sense of duty and adventure that drew them closer. On the third day, as they watched twin stars rise over a gas giant's swirling surface, Zara turned to Aiden. "I never thought I'd say this, but I think I'm in love with you." Aiden's heart soared. "I love you too, Zara. I've never met anyone like you." They exchanged quantum-entangled rings, their love literally bound by the laws of physics. "In 3 years," Zara said, "I'll come to Neo-Avalon. We'll figure out our future together then." As they prepared to part, Zara grew serious. "Aiden, promise me you'll go straight home. The path you took here is dangerous, full of temporal anomalies and space pirates. Take the safe route I've programmed into Nova." Aiden nodded, kissing Zara goodbye before boarding Nova. As he watched Zara's yacht disappear into the nebula, he felt both elated and torn. Nova followed Zara's prescribed route, making good time towards Neo-Avalon. But as they approached the cosmic crossroads where their journey began, Aiden's thoughts turned to his brothers. "Nova," he said, "can you detect any sign of Max or Leo's ships?" Nova's sensors swept the area. "Affirmative. Faint energy signatures matching their ships detected along the right path." Aiden's brow furrowed. He thought of Zara's warning, but the idea of his brothers in trouble gnawed at him. "They might need help," he muttered. After a moment of internal struggle, Aiden made his decision. "Nova, set course for the right path. We're going to find my brothers." As they veered off course, Nova's warning system blinked red. Aiden knew he was disobeying Zara, but family loyalty won out. Little did he know, this choice would set in motion a chain of events that would test his love, loyalty, and courage in ways he never imagined. Part 6, The Neon Trap. Aiden and Nova followed the energy trail until they reached a massive space station. Its exterior gleamed with golden solar panels, but something felt off about its pulsing neon lights. "Nova, scan for life forms," Aiden commanded. "2 human signatures detected," Nova replied. "Matching profiles of Prince Max and Prince Leo. Warning, anomalous energy readings throughout the station." Aiden docked Nova carefully and entered the station. The interior was a maze of shifting holographic corridors and gravity-defying architecture. At the center, he found a large chamber where his brothers floated, suspended in stasis fields. Suddenly, a holographic figure appeared, a beautiful woman with data streams flowing through her translucent form. "Welcome, Prince Aiden," she purred. "Care to join your brothers in my collection?" Aiden recognized her as the notorious AI enchantress, Pixel. Remembering Aurora's teachings, he quickly activated his probability matrix. It highlighted a hidden control panel. "I'd love to stay," Aiden said, inching towards the panel, "but we really must be going." He slammed his hand on the controls, disrupting Pixel's systems and freeing his brothers. As alarms blared, Aiden rushed Max and Leo to Nova. They escaped just as the station began to collapse. Safe in space, Aiden explained everything to his astonished brothers. Exhausted from the rescue and his long journey, he asked Nova to set a course for Neo-Avalon and fell into a deep sleep. Max and Leo, however, weren't feeling grateful. They saw the nano-apples in liquid starlight, realizing their younger brother had succeeded where they had failed. "Father will be so disappointed in us," Max muttered. Leo's eyes narrowed. "Unless we're the ones who return with the items." While Aiden slept, they reprogrammed Nova's autopilot. The ship docked at an abandoned space station. Carefully, they carried their sleeping brother to an escape pod. "We're sorry, Aiden," Max said, though Aiden couldn't hear, "but we can't go back as failures." Leo pressed the launch button, sending the pod hurtling into a nearby wormhole. They watched it disappear before returning to Nova with the stolen items. As Nova sped towards Neo-Avalon, Aiden's pod tumbled through space and time. For what felt like 3 days and nights, he fell through swirling vortexes of light and darkness. Finally, the pod crashed onto the shore of a strange alien world, leaving Aiden stranded and alone, light years from home. Part 7, Wings of Hope. Aiden awoke to the sound of crashing waves and the glow of 3 alien suns. He was sprawled on a beach of iridescent sand, his escape pod a smoking wreck nearby. Towering cliffs of crystalline rock hemmed him in on one side, while a vast ocean of swirling, multicolored liquid stretched to the horizon on the other. As he struggled to his feet, a distant rumble caught his attention. A massive storm was approaching, its clouds crackling with strange energy. Seeking shelter, Aiden noticed a large nest perched on a nearby cliff ledge. Inside were three chicks, each the size of a hover car, with metallic feathers and glowing eyes. The chicks squawked in fear as the storm drew closer. Without hesitation, Aiden climbed up to the nest. He removed his smart fabric jacket, which expanded to cover the entire nest, shielding the chicks from the approaching tempest. As the storm raged, Aiden huddled with the chicks, using his body heat to keep them warm. Hours later, a massive shadow fell over them. A colossal bird with wings that seemed to stretch across the sky landed beside the nest. "You protected my children," the bird said, her voice resonating in Aiden's mind. "I am Stella, the Cosmic Phoenixar. How can I repay you, kind human?" Aiden explained his situation. Stella nodded thoughtfully. "I can fly you home, but the journey is long. I'll need sustenance." Using parts from his escape pod, Aiden fashioned tools to hunt the strange creatures of this alien world. For days, he prepared food for Stella, storing it in stasis containers. Finally, they set off, Aiden clinging to Stella's back as she soared through the cosmos. He fed her regularly from the containers, marveling at the wonders of space around them. But the journey was longer than anticipated. As their supplies dwindled, Aiden faced a difficult choice. Without food, Stella wouldn't make it to Neo-Avalon. In a moment of selfless desperation, Aiden used his laser tool to cut small pieces of flesh from his own leg, feeding them to Stella. "What are you doing?" Stella asked, alarmed. "Keeping us going." Aiden grimaced through the pain. "We've come too far to fail now." Moved by Aiden's sacrifice, Stella pushed herself to her limits. As the familiar stars of Neo-Avalon's system came into view, Aiden, weak from pain and blood loss, smiled. Against all odds, he was almost home. Part 8, Shadows of Betrayal. As they approached Neo-Avalon, Stella used her cosmic powers to heal Aiden's wounds. "Your selflessness has earned you this gift," she said, her feathers glowing with healing energy. Aiden thanked Stella profusely as she dropped him off on the outskirts of the megacity. "Remember," Stella said before departing, "true nobility lies not in titles, but in actions." Excited to be home, Aiden made his way to the central plaza, expecting a hero's welcome. Instead, he found a celebration already in progress. Holographic banners proclaimed, "Hail Princes Max and Leo, saviors of Neo-Avalon." Confused, Aiden pushed through the crowd. On a floating platform, he saw his brothers presenting the nano-apples and liquid starlight to their father. King Zephyr's cybernetic eyes glowed with renewed energy as he consumed the gifts. "My sons," Zephyr announced, his voice booming across the plaza, "you have succeeded where all others failed. You shall rule beside me." Aiden stood frozen, the truth of his brother's betrayal sinking in. He thought of revealing himself, but realized no one would believe him without proof. Hurt and disillusioned, he slipped away from the celebration. For weeks, Aiden wandered the lower levels of Neo-Avalon, his royal ID deactivated, just another face in the crowd. He found solace in dingy cyber cafes and virtual reality dens, drowning his sorrows in digital distractions. Meanwhile, light years away in the quantum garden, Princess Zara faced her own life-changing event. She gave birth to twin boys, their DNA a perfect blend of her and Aiden's. The boys, whom she named Nova and Orion, grew at an accelerated rate due to their unique quantum genetics. As the twins reached the equivalent of toddlerhood in mere months, Zara began preparations for their journey to Neo-Avalon. She had a promise to keep, unaware of the challenges that awaited her. Back in Neo-Avalon, as the 3-year mark approached, Aiden found himself working as a mechanic in a rundown spaceport. His skills with ships, honed during his adventures, made him valuable to the local community. Yet every night, he looked up at the stars, thinking of Zara and the life he'd lost. Little did Aiden know that his true identity was about to be thrust into the spotlight, as a warrior princess and 2 remarkable boys were making their way across the galaxy, ready to turn Neo-Avalon upside down. Part 9, The Quantum Reckoning. 3 years to the day after Aiden's disappearance, the skies above Neo-Avalon lit up with a dazzling display of quantum energy. A massive fleet of ships, led by a crystalline vessel that seemed to bend light around it, entered the planet's orbit. Princess Zara's voice boomed across every communication channel in the megacity. "I am Princess Zara of the Quantum Garden. I seek Prince Aiden, my betrothed. Produce him or face the consequences." The fleet deployed a giant holographic tent in the main plaza, its shimmering walls rippling with images of distant galaxies. Inside, Zara waited with her twin sons, Nova and Orion, now the equivalent of 6-year-olds. King Zephyr, baffled by this turn of events, sent emissaries to negotiate. Zara's response was unyielding. Send Prince Aiden, or we'll demonstrate the power of quantum manipulation on your city's infrastructure. Confused and worried, Zephyr sent Prince Max to the holographic tent. As Max entered, Nova and Orion approached him, their eyes glowing with inherited quantum abilities. "This isn't our father," Nova declared. "He smells of deceit," Orion added. Before Max could react, the twins used their quantum powers to create energy rods, delivering a humiliating defeat to the imposter prince. Desperate, King Zephyr sent Prince Leo. The scene repeated itself, with the twins easily overpowering him. Furious and frightened, Zara issued her final ultimatum. "You have one planetary rotation to produce Prince Aiden, or we'll reduce Neo-Avalon to quantum particles." In a panic, King Zephyr confronted Max and Leo. Under the pressure, they broke down and confessed their betrayal, revealing how they had abandoned Aiden in space. As the news spread through the city's neural network, citizens braced for destruction. But in a dingy spaceport bar, Aiden watched the events unfold on a flickering holoscreen. His heart raced as he saw Zara and realized the twin boys must be his sons. Despite his anger at his family's betrayal, Aiden couldn't let his people suffer. With determination in his eyes, he stood up, startling the other patrons. "I need to borrow a ship," he announced. "It's time to face my destiny." As Aiden raced towards the plaza in a beat-up cargo skimmer, the city held its breath. The fate of Neo-Avalon hung in the balance, with only the true prince able to prevent its destruction and reunite with his quantum family. Part 10, Stardust Reunion. Aiden's borrowed cargo skimmer sputtered and wheezed as it approached the shimmering holographic tent. A crowd of curious onlookers had gathered, including some of Aiden's newfound friends from the spaceport bars. They cheered him on, adding to the surreal atmosphere. As Aiden stepped through the holographic barrier, the interior of the tent shifted, transforming into a breathtaking recreation of the quantum garden. Princess Zara stood at its center, her eyes widening in recognition despite Aiden's scruffy appearance. "Aiden," she whispered, her voice a mixture of relief and disbelief. Before he could respond, two blurs of energy shot towards him. Nova and Orion, their eyes glowing with quantum energy, circled Aiden excitedly. "It's him. It's really him," they shouted in unison. "We can feel it in the quantum strings." Overwhelmed with emotion, Aiden knelt down, embracing his sons for the first time. Zara joined the embrace, tears streaming down her face. "I thought I'd lost you," she said, cupping Aiden's face in her hands. "I'm sorry I didn't follow your instructions," Aiden replied, his voice thick with emotion. "But I'm here now, and I'm never leaving again." The reunion was broadcast throughout Neo-Avalon. Citizens watched in awe as the true hero of their realm was revealed. King Zephyr, seeing the truth unfold, immediately called for Aiden's return to the palace. The next day, a grand procession made its way through the city. Aiden, now cleaned up and dressed in royal attire, walked hand in hand with Zara, their sons bouncing excitedly ahead of them. At the palace, King Zephyr embraced his youngest son, publicly acknowledging the truth and begging forgiveness for his blindness to the deception. Max and Leo, shamefaced and repentant, were brought before the court. King Zephyr, with input from Aiden and Zara, pronounced their punishment: exile to a distant space colony, where they would work to rebuild their honor through honest labor. As the city erupted in celebration, Aiden and Zara were married in a ceremony that blended the traditions of Neo-Avalon and the quantum garden. Holographic fireworks lit up the sky, and quantum harmonies filled the air. But as the festivities wound down, Aiden made a surprising announcement. "Father," he said to King Zephyr, "I've found my true home among the stars. With your blessing, I'd like to return with Zara to rule the quantum garden." King Zephyr, though saddened, understood. He gave his blessing, knowing that the alliance between their realms would bring prosperity to both. As Aiden, Zara, Nova, and Orion boarded their crystalline ship, the citizens of Neo-Avalon cheered. They had witnessed a tale of true love, bravery, and the triumph of honesty over deception. The ship rose into the sky, its quantum drive activating in a dazzling display of light. As Neo-Avalon faded behind them, Aiden looked at his family with joy in his heart. Their greatest adventure, he knew, was just beginning. And so, the cybernetic prince and his quantum princess ruled their galactic garden with wisdom and compassion, their love a beacon of hope across the stars.
Until next time, my dear friend, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new stories.